They had been following Eugene at a distance for the past 2 days.
What an amazing guy. Eugene hadn't even brought an escort with him. No guards, not even a camel.
I think it might be some kind of a ritual. Our tribe sends young men who are about to reach adulthood on a journey away from the tribe.
You're saying that someone from the Lionheart clan would really come all the way to this desert just for a coming-of-age ceremony?
I don't know his reasons, but remember what our master told us? He said we should not allow that boy to enter the Kajani desert.
Although even Raman hadn't been made aware of the reasons for this order, Raman had no intention of rudely speculating about their master's order.
It seems that the Lionheart clan really is amazing as they say it is. There's no way he could be familiar with the desert, but he's already able to walk so fast. Anyone looking at him would believe that he was born in the desert. He's coming this way.
What?
The soldiers kept their distance, and Eugene had no binoculars. How could he see them? A pure white flame could be seen clearly weaving through the darkness. How did he notice them? Eugene was charging directly towards them, at far too fast of a speed. It's too late to back off now.
Draw out your swords. Let's let him believe that we're bandits. Steal a moderate amount of money and leave. Perhaps this mugging would convince this boy to return back.
From their clothes, they look like travelers. Their stealth skills are also lacking. They can't be assassins. But if he can create sword force, which was the next level up from swordlight, then he must be a skilled warrior. It's been quite a while.
In the last 2 years, Eugene had usually been holding a pen and paper instead of a sword. Learning magic had certainly been fun, but in both his previous life and his current one, he found a thrill in battles.
He can cast spells with no incantation?
Who are you? Why are you following me?
We're thieves.
It seems that Nahama is quite a powerful country. After all, the leader of a group of measly bandits is able to use sword force. And how strong must the soldiers be to be able to suppress such bandits? That's quite amazing. If they have that kind of military power, won't Nahama be the strongest in the continent?
We're just a little special.
Hey, old man, I'm telling you, stop with your bullshit and just speak honestly. Truth is, I don't care if you stop talking, period. I have my own ways to get to the truth.
Was this really a young master of the prestigious Lionheart clan? His words sounded like a drunken mercenary. How is it possible for a rich, spoiled kid to have this much bloodthirst? He vanished. Is this Blink? Raman's suspicion was correct. Eugene was using sword force as well. He blocked my sight with sand. It will be magic missiles like before. Mana shield. How can a first circle spell be this strong? He's gonna kill me.
You choose not to hit me? What a grave insult.
Now things are looking up. This was also the first time for Eugene's reincarnated body to face an opponent who could output his sword force like this. As such, Eugene provoked him even more to see what this man could do. I have been hit, but these cuts? Was it a miracle that they were all shallow? No, he is still going easy on me. Eugene casually tucked Winnet into his cloak.
What do you think you're doing? I still haven't been defeated.
I know. I am going to beat you up with my bare hands.
Ka. Ga.
Who are you?
My name is Raman Shula.
I don't care about your name. Who ordered you to follow me? You are not gonna answer?
Please stop. Our master is Tyri al-Madani.
Adjutant, don't say anything.
And who is that?
He is the emir of Kajitan.
Eugene recalled that Kajitan was the city right on the western border of Nahama, which Eugene had just left. This meant that Rahman was a subordinate of the Lord of Kajitan.
Our master. He wanted us to...
Two? Hurry up, you motherfucker!
He wanted us to secretly follow you. Sir Eugene, I'm not sure of his reasons, but he told us not to allow you to enter the Kajani desert. Please, just let go of the captain's head.
Kajani was the location of Hamel's hometown, 300 years ago. The Kajani Desert had only been created recently as the epicenter of the sandstorm that was gnawing at Turris's territory. Kajani was a harsh land that no one could live off. Could it be the headquarters of the sand shamans? Although it was obvious that Nahama was using the desertification to gnaw away at Turris, In Nahama, the one that Eugene was the wariest of was Amelia Merwin, the black wizard who had signed a contract with the Demon King of Incarceration. Asher Desert, which was where her dungeon was located, was a long way from here. It was also far away from where Anise had last been sighted. So there is no reason for Eugene to go there, and the obvious route is to go to Kajani.
You all can go back, but you'll be coming with me. I need to get into Kajani no matter what. I'll use you, and thus your own master, as a shield. Your master is the Emir of Kajitan, right? Doesn't that mean I can silence any annoying objections by using his name?
That's...
Or would you rather that I go to the Lionheart clan and tell them that Emir of Kajitan disguised his subordinates as thieves to steal the Lionheart's treasures? How about that?
We never intended to do something like that.
You know what this is, right? It's Wynid, the storm sword used by the great Vermouth, the ancestor of our Lionheart clan. It's an item that just about anybody would covet, so they're sure to believe that the Emir of Kajitan pulled something so devious because he lusted for Wynid.
If Eugene really went around saying something like that, Rahman's head would be sent flying, and perhaps so would his subordinates. Even his master, Tayri al-Madani, might lose his head if things went wrong.
You understood.
Rahman had no choice but to concede. Master's orders had been to prevent Eugene from entering Kajani and not to act as an escort. And what will happen to my superintendents who failed to carry out their orders?
Hey Rahman, what's your rank?
I'm the commander of the 2nd Division of the Red Sand Warriors, a unit under the direct command of my master.
This was no different from a knightly order serving under a noble. With the skills that Rahman had shown, the position of captain is only natural.
Are there any sand shamans in the Kajani desert?
Huh? Sorry.
Don't act dumb, or do you want to spend some more time in hell at my hands?
No way. Why would the sand shamans, who had sworn sole loyalty to the royal family of Nahama, be in the Kajani desert, which was so far away from the capital?
Are you an idiot, old man?
Huh?
The Kajani Desert. It used to be the territory of the Kingdom of Turus, but a sandstorm appeared out of nowhere and turned all the fine land and forests into a desert. While claiming that the spread of the desert had been mandated by heaven, the Sultan of Nahama stationed his warriors in the desert and began conducting military exercises. As a small country, Turus definitely couldn't risk a dispute with Nahama, and no righteous country on this continent would shed the blood of its soldiers just because it felt pity for such a small country. Since your guys can't pull off such rubbish against the Kiel Empire, you just keep beating down on the pushovers in Turus.
Don't you dare spread such nonsense. Even if what you say is true, there's no way our master could be involved in such despicable actions.
It looks like you really don't know anything. You look like you are from Kajani, so you were lucky enough to survive the disastrous sandstorm. Was it your master who allowed you in? So that's why you don't want to believe that your master is connected to the sandstorms.
That's all lies.
Well, that's fine. It's important whether or not you're aware of the truth. I have no intention of coming all this way to a foreign country just to get mixed up in a conflict that I can't handle. Got it? I can roughly guess why your master wouldn't want me to head into the desert. If a foreigner wanders into the base of the Sand Shamans, and if that foreigner happens to be the young master of the Lionheart clan, wouldn't that just be a pain in the ass for everyone involved?
I understand what you're trying to say. If there really are sand shamans in there as you speculated, then before they can harm you, I will step in to protect you, my lord. Even if the sand shamans are directly under the Sultan's command, they should at least show some respect for my master, the Emir of Kajitan.
I hope so.
But my lord, why do you want to go to the Kajani desert? There really is nothing to be found there.
To find a grave.
A grave? Are you here because you want to visit the grave of a family member? Why didn't you just tell me this earlier?
And what would you have done if I did?
There's a cemetery in Kajani. I could have just led you right there.
It's not in a cemetery. The grave I'm looking for is elsewhere.
An oasis? The Kajani desert had no oases.
It's fake.
Are you saying that it's a mirage?
If you see a mirage of an oasis, it means there must be a real oasis somewhere in the distance, but not in this case. That's a magical illusion.
You're saying that's a spell? That's impossible.
Hey, Rahman, try to keep your attempts to escape reality inside your own head. You are pissing me off.
For travelers in the desert, an oasis is an extremely precious sight, and stop there once they've seen it.
Do you think that they might have an ambush lying in wait?
Yeah, that should be true.
Wait, Master. It's dangerous.
Do you really think I would miss something that you had noticed?
Intermediate rank wind spirit, Gala. Eugene's power amplified the Gala's strength, creating a burst of wind that sounded like an explosion had gone off. All the surrounding sand erupted instantly, and Rahman was also sent flying head over heels. Blood had splattered everywhere. The assassin who had been the first to attack Eugene was already dead. Assassins who had been waiting in ambush ganged up on Eugene.
Lower your weapons. I am Rahman Shulhaf, a warrior serving under the Emir of Kajitan, Tari al-Madani. Know that the one you are showing such hostility to is my master's guest. Stand back. If you refuse, I will be forced to regard that as a challenge to the authority of my master, the Emir of Kajitan. Didn't they not hear me? This man is the young lord of the Keel Empire's Lionheart clan.
It's useless, Rahman. Those words will only give these puppies even more motivation to kill us.
Huh?
Rahman trailed off in confusion.
Since they've already attacked me, there's no way they're just going to let us off. Though killing me will cause them quite a headache. That said, those bastards probably use poison or some drug to shut me up. But for that to happen, it will be over my dead body.
There are too many I need to protect the young master.
Come at me. Or shall I make the first move?
Hamel, why do you go around carrying all those weapons that you never even use?
They will come in handy someday.
Leave him alone, Anise. I'm telling you that this bastard won't listen to you no matter what you say to him.
But Sienna, Hamel's behavior shouldn't be encouraged. All those useless weapons belong to Hamel, so why does Molon have to pull the cart carrying them?
It's because I won when we played rock, paper, scissors.
But that's not fair either. Why were you staking who has to pull your luggage on a game of rock, paper, scissors with Molon?
Why do you keep making me out to be a bad guy? Do you really think that's just my luggage over there? I can see an awful lot of jars of the so-called holy water that you like so much. There's also the axe that belongs to that bastard, Molon. That axe is the heaviest thing on the cart.
If I was the only one who uses my holy water, I would carry it all by myself. But that's not the case now, is it? You and Sienna, you two brats are always the ones who desire my holy water the most. Also, doesn't that idiot Molon always make a fist whenever he plays rock, paper, scissors?
Sienna, you bitch. I told you to hold back on the holy water with her. We wouldn't need to drag the cart with us if she could just store our luggage using summoning magic.
Why the hell are you blaming me when you're the one who said that you would just travel while carrying your luggage? Because it was hard to take things out quickly right when you needed them.
Vermouth, you motherfucker, don't just stay silent and say something. Why don't you ever take turns pulling the cart?
None of my weapons are on there.
Must be nice for you. Subspace magic sure sounds fucking convenient.
Right? That's why I've said you should let me teach you magic. If you get down on your knees and beg, well, I might just be willing to lose a little sleep so that I can kindly teach you a thing or two.
If I just had a cloak like this in my previous life, I definitely wouldn't have been insulted this much.
During Hamel's time as a mercenary, he had clashed with them on several occasions. Thanks to that, Eugene was well aware of just how terrifying assassins could be. Among all the weapons he had stored away like this, axes alone just counted for 20 of them. It was overwhelming. Rahman, he had frozen in place by the sight in front of him, unable to advance any further. There wasn't any need for Rahman's help. The 20-plus assassins looked like a herd of sheep that had met a wolf. No, a lion, the Storm Sword. Winid, which was known to be one of the national treasures of the Lionheart clan, didn't even make an appearance, and Eugene didn't actively cast any offensive spells either. Apart from the intermittent casting of Blink, his magic was just used as a support.
Was there really a need to kill all of them?
I don't have the talents needed to submit these assassins' mind with magic. Do you plan to keep going?
Huh?
I mean, the reason I brought you here was to use your master's name for assistance, but these jokers seem to look down on the Emir of Kajitan, so there's no reason to drag you with me any further.
That might be the case, but I can't just return like this.
Why not? Is it because you want to personally confirm what I told you?
Rahman's silence was enough of an answer.
It's not like you'll be of much help.
I'll try not to be a burden for you, my lord.
Fine, do as you like, but don't expect me to help you out.
The assassins' corpses were covered in a red light, and Eugene saw them melt like ice. They were being used as a sacrifice.
This is summoning magic. Something big is coming.
My lord, please run away.
Eugene had been expecting Rahman to scream for help, but instead, he had Eugene's well-being as his priority.
Kajani was known for its sudden sandstorms, but a sand tornado that appeared from out of nowhere like this and swelled in size was clearly abnormal. It's magic.
It was just as Eugene had said earlier. Kajani's sandstorms were caused by the sand shamans. This meant that the sandstorm that had engulfed Rahman's village was also caused by the sand shamans. He frantically started swinging his kukri at the tornado, but unfortunately, Rahman's skills made it impossible for him to slice apart that huge sandstorm. The same went for Eugene as well. The gale's winds weren't enough to stop the sandstorm. All it could do was help him endure the pull. He glanced down at Rahman. Eugene sent some of his wind over to Rahman.
My lord, no.
Get going, you idiot. A sandworm.
Young master, in order to save me, he gave his own life. No, I will repay his debt and save his body as a warrior should.
Sandworms completely disintegrate what they eat, and they are made with no way out.
Then I will open a way myself. White flame method and circle magic. Circle flame method.
The first place Eugene looked was up top. He could still see the sandworm's tail twitching. He had pierced the sandworm a new anus.
Blood. Then this was a normal sandworm, which must mean that the summoning magic was used for the sandstorm.
In this desert, only one group of people could find a clever use for these useless sandworms. That would be the wizards. Wizards often create these things called dungeons, whether they didn't want others to know about their dark research. Dungeon makers.
Sandworms dig beneath the desert and create a labyrinth for you. It doesn't take them that long either. Maybe 10 days at most. If you just leave them alone during that time, they will create a complex labyrinth deep underground. When the right amount of time has passed, you just go down and eradicate the sandworms. After that, all you need to do is to reinforce the labyrinth with magic.
So what? Are you planning on going to the desert later and making a labyrinth for yourself to live in?
Are you crazy? I have nothing to be ashamed of, so why would I want to live deep beneath the desert?
Looks like there is a path. Judging from the map, this underground path led straight to the vicinity of where Hamel's hometown had been in the past.
Let's go.
Rahman Shulhoff.
Sand shamans, what is this?
It was funny seeing you charge at the sandworm, haha. With your skill level at that, well, whatever. You are going to answer our questions.
Question.
Why did the talented young master of the Lionheart clan come all the way here? And why are you, a warrior of the Emir of Kajitan, acting as a guide for the Lionheart boy? Could the Emir of Kajitan be planning to betray Nahama? It is his mission to stop those who should not be coming here. For him to fail his mission and instead attach a guide.
What are you all doing here, in this place deep underground? The oasis, it was an illusion. The sandstorm was also created with magic. What are you all doing here?
It seems that you don't understand your situation.
God.
We're the ones asking questions here.
Are you keeping your mouth shut for the sake of your master's honor? That is pointless, Rahman Shulhoff. You will die in any case, but wouldn't a painless death be better than the torturous demise awaiting you?
How dare you invade the territory of another country in such a cheap manner? All of you are supposed to be protecting the royal family, so why are you here? In that sandstorm?
Do you really think that the desertification could be sped up with just our power alone? Although I know that warriors are usually ignorant, after hearing such brainless words, I can't help but be amused. It would take hundreds of sand shamans to create a sandstorm large enough to cause desertification.
Then, if that's the case, why are you here?
I have no reason to answer that. Why has Eugene Lionheart come to Kajani?
Gah, what's so important about his reasons for doing so? Lord Eugene has already perished. He died because of you.
Wait,
He was eaten whole by a giant sandworm, but a hole was cut in its tail.
We can't just allow him to go wherever he pleases.
the assassins are exploring the nest. They should catch him soon.
Does that mean Lord Eugene is still alive?
It's not a good idea to pick a fight with the Lionheart clan. It should be enough to erase his memory and toss him outside Kajani.
No, it might be better for us to actively show that we're protecting him. Who knows? We might even be praised for our kindness.
It's just a shame that she's not here. If she were...
Why is he here? What about the assassins?
A shaman expanded his field of view to include the path that Eugene had already taken. There were corpses strewn all over the place, both assassins and sand shamans. They are all dead? Every assassin who had remained here had received enough training to not be slaughtered by just one person.
The level of the assassins here isn't that great. Their stealth is only at the proficient level, and their control over their mana isn't amazing either.
The past Nahama's assassins were. The highest grade of assassins had stealth techniques comparable to that of a demonic beast, and were so terrifyingly tenacious that they couldn't even be considered human beings. If this is an important site for Nahama, there should have been better assassins than these guys. The guards here were too weak.
My lord.
Why are you tied up there when I did my best to let you run away? There are a lot of things that I want to ask you guys.
Sand prison.
What did he just do? Dispel? No. The sand prison had just seemed to run out of mana. Even Aroth, famously known as the Magic Kingdom, didn't possess such a dispel. Could it be a trump card of the Lionheart clan? We won't be able to capture him alive. It's a shame, but we must kill him.
You guys attacked first. I guess you won't mind then if I kill you, right?
He's coming.
What an obvious move. The real attack is coming from above.
What?
What were you all doing here? You are all too weak to be the Sultan's forces. So what were you doing here behind the Sultan's back?
Hold on. Just what are you talking about?
I don't really want to waste time interrogating someone like you. So listen up. Will you tell me what I want to know? Or die?
What's happening here isn't under the Sultan's command.
Then whose is it? Could it really be the Amir of Kayatan?
It's not him. He is cooperating with us. Amelia Merwin. This is Amelia Merwin's dungeon.
Don't lie to me. Amelia Merwin's dungeon is in the Uraz Desert.
She's been staying here since 6 years ago.
Why did Amelia Merwin come all the way here? Are you afraid of Amelia Merwin? If that's the case, I will kill you. An extremely comfortable and simple death. Amelia Merwin wouldn't let you die so peacefully.
This labyrinth was created to accelerate the desertification. There are many other labyrinths apart from this one in the Kayani Desert, but 6 years ago, the labyrinth expanded. We had believed that the ground was unstable and collapsed it, but then a large gate was found deep underground. We tried to open the gate ourselves, but we couldn't do it no matter what we tried, so we requested the assistance of Amelia Merwin.
Thank you. No wonder. I thought the military force stationed here was a bit too weak.
They were here to act as Amelia Merwin's caretakers and punish any travelers who approached.
My lord, we need to get out of here. If this place truly is Amelia Merwin's, the Blackthorn's dungeon.
When we've already come this far, fortunately, Amelia Merwin isn't in today.
But she could come at any moment.
Do you really believe that Amelia Merwin won't pursue us? She'll probably hunt down the person who intruded into her dungeon and caused such a mess. That means we are left with a bad situation no matter what we do.
Eugene wasn't confident about the results of a conflict with Amelia Merwin. He wanted to avoid her. However, now it seemed inevitable. He might as well confirm what they were here for before trying to escape.
Why aren't you running away?
Lord Eugene has saved me twice now. If Amelia Merwin returns and tries to kill you, Lord, then I will give my life to open a path for you.
You? For me? Huh, with what ability? Just return to where you came from.
There's no way I can abandon you here.
I'm the one telling you to go.
6 years ago. That was during the bloodline continuation ceremony. After it was over, he entered the Lionheart clan's treasure vault. Inside there, he had discovered Hamel's necklace. This labyrinth has been around for 10 years, but this part of the labyrinth only collapsed 6 years ago. What if
under here is my grave?
That's the gate that Amelia Merwin had been called here to open. These are traces of a battle. Was it Sienna? In the center of the floor stood a statue. There was no way Eugene wouldn't recognize it. It was a statue of Hamel. Hamel Dinus. Piece of shit, an idiot, an asshole, garbage. But he was also brave, faithful, wise, and great. In remembrance of who sacrificed himself for everyone and left us earlier than he should have. Staring at the memorial stone, he recognized the handwriting on it. In Milan's large handwriting was the word brave. In Anis's perfect handwriting was the word faithful. In Sienna's crooked handwriting was the word wise. And in Vermouth's sharp handwriting was the word great.
Ah, fuck. Those sorts of words should have been said to me while I was alive. What's the use of writing them on my tombstone after I've died? How would I even see them, you fuckheads?
It's strange. Traces of battle had been left in the passageway. Hamel's statue and the memorial stone were the only things that weren't broken and still intact. 200 years ago, Sienna had detected the death of her familiar and had left Aroth to travel here to Hamel's grave. Sienna was always strong but became even stronger after Hamel died. The glimpse of this wise Sienna that he had seen through witchcraft showed that she had to have been the most powerful wizard in the world. If the intruder could fight Sienna, who had such strength, since that was the case, could Sienna have died here?
There's no way. The illusion I saw in Aroth was sent by her, so she must have been injured and went into hiding somewhere. But who on earth could have pushed Sienna so far? Between the Demon King of Incarceration and the Demon King of Destruction, which of the two could it possibly be? I won't be able to find answers sitting here. I will look around for clues. Sina, Anise, and Molon. They made a grave for me here. They probably cried while burying me. As for Vermouth, would have he cried?
Eugene simply couldn't imagine the appearance of Vermouth shedding tears whenever his comrades suffered an unavoidable injury during their journey, even when they had managed to survive after defeating a powerful enemy. While everyone else was getting drunk on joy and a sense of accomplishment, Vermouth would wallow in his self-blame. There was no need for you to get hurt. I should have been better.
Asshole, do you think you're a god? You're just a human like us. So what makes you think that you can do everything by yourself? If you were able to do that, then fuck. Why would you bring us along with you?
Hamel, stop bothering Sir Vermouth.
Don't butt in, Anise. You also clicked your tongue just now. Do you think I wouldn't notice your desire to shake some sense into this bastard and make him realize that he's being an ass?
I didn't click my tongue because of Sir Vermouth. I clicked my tongue because I knew that you would utter some kind of nonsense.
You really are crazy.
Eugene recalled a conversation that would never again be able to take place. His tears were flowing once more.
A door? Who are you? Why are you sitting there blocking that door?
A demon? No, that's not it. An undead.
I asked you who you are, motherfucker.
I am the stupid Hamel.
What did you say, you motherfucker? Hamel, you are just a death knight.
Death knights were made from the corpses of dead warriors. That thing was his body, the body from his previous life, the body that Sienna, Anise, Milan, and Vermouth had painstakingly built a grave for and laid to rest.
Which fucking bastard was it that stuffed you into that body? It has a mana shield.
He couldn't compete with this Death Knight in front of him in terms of strength, created by Amelia Merwin. As a Death Knight made by a black wizard of Amelia Merwin's caliber, it had to be at least as strong as the Leonhart clan's patriarch, or a captain of the Black Leon Knights.
So what if the Death Knight was strong?
Boy, it seems like you're good at wielding various weapons.
Boy, if you're trying to imitate Hamel, then do it properly. Didn't I tell you to take off your helmet?
Boy, your skill is amazing, but you are no match for me. How unfortunate. What did you just do? You shouldn't be able to dodge that. Parrying?
It wasn't just simply parrying. The moment both attack and counterattack collided at that instant, Eugene had synchronized a wave of mana with his counterattack so that he can deflect the attack. How heavy. Although he had gotten the timing down perfectly, Eugene was still not strong enough to deflect that attack unharmed. I cannot let this fight go on for long. I will have to end it fast, even if it takes a lot out of me. It felt like Eugene's bones were splintering, and his muscles were being torn apart. So even this talented body couldn't stand up to such force. But this didn't matter, because Eugene had been able to fight just as well with a body that was in much worse shape than this in my past life. As long as he could still move, he could still fight.
I need to end this in one blow. I will lower my mana shield and put it all into Winnied. Now let's see your face. Look at me. You sure are one handsome guy, even though hundreds of years had passed, still alive as ever, but the soul in that hot, hot body of yours is incredibly ugly.
All it had done was throw away its sword, but he had gotten faster and stronger than before. It was weaker for holding a sword that it wasn't even familiar with. A Death Knight can heal most injures. To kill him, I must destroy the heart. But I have already used a lot of my strength to just stop his attacks. What am I thinking? I have to get him out of that body no matter what. Black demonic power was wrapped around its hands, and it was swinging its fingertips like they were claws. And beast-like posture. A monster. Is it a lycanthrope inside my body? A single fragment won't be enough to dissipate the demonic force. However, it could at least reduce its power. He was able to thrust the fragment of the Moonlight Sword into the Death Knight's chest. Just as the Death Knight's defenses were dimming, that was the opening Eugene wanted.
Haha, look at that. And you dare call yourself Hamel?
No, don't look.
What's that marble on your chest? Is that your heart? You stupid bastard. How could you be Hamel? You're just a Death Knight. Not even a human one at that, but a lycanthrope, just a house cat.
I am Hamel.
Like fuck you are, asshole.
Eugene had lost. Was he going to die now, just like this? No, this wasn't the end for him. He had even been reincarnated, so he had no intention of dying like this. In his previous life as Hamel, he had kept one special move hidden as his trump card. If Eugene used it, he was sure to win. He would win no matter what. The Death Knight would be shattered into dust without leaving any traces behind. But as strong as this move was, it came with the same amount of recoil to Eugene's body. Although he couldn't kill a Death Knight with his current specs, if he used ignition, Eugene would be able to kill it.
Young master.
It was Ramon Schulhoff, that fool. Eugene had knocked him out to give him the chance to run away. But why had he continued to follow Eugene all the way here?
Get back, you monster, Master Eugene. Ooh-ah! Young master, Pete, please run away, while I've got a hold of him.
What kind of bullshit was that you are the one being held captive?
Even after suffering so many injuries and being cornered in a fight with this mysterious monster, Eugene was still able to laugh like that. He truly is a great man, Ramon admired.
Young master, I'll rush over and make an opening, so you have to run away no matter what. You don't need to try and save me anymore.
You don't need to do that. There is a door behind us.
That door doesn't open. Nobody, not even her, has been able to open that door.
Is that so? After hearing those words, I want to open it up even more.
This door that wouldn't open no matter what must have been left for this grave's owner.
This place is...
Although you weren't of any help, since you did try to save me, I will let you stay here over dying outside. Those crazy bastards. Why did they leave it here?
300 years ago, in Vermouth, near the Demon King of Carnage's castle. After the battle was over, the heroes searched the surroundings to see if any remaining forces had fled the Demon King's castle. They found a path leading underground. They found a ruin deep underground. Upon seeing the ancient words carved into the walls, Sienna speculated that it might be a relic of the mythological period. And in the deepest level of these ruins, they found a hidden room. They saw a full moon shining. In their battle with the Demon King of Carnage, most of Hamel's weapons had been shattered and broken, leaving him with only a single intact sword.
I call dibs on that one.
However, Hamel wasn't able to get his hand on the sword. The moment that he got close to the sword, he fell to his knees coughing out blood.
Why did you leave something like this in my grave? Vermouth.
In the end, that sword was also taken by Vermouth. Since then, he hasn't used any weapon but it. In the past, its light was in the shape of a full moon. Now, it's only a crescent.
Did it get weaker? Maybe it's missing the fragment that is with me. I forgot to pick that thing up. What reason could there be to seal the moonlight sword away in my grave of all places? Was it out of sympathy for me?
Although Hamel had wanted to possess the moonlight sword, he hadn't been able to obtain it.
What's the use of giving it to me after I've died?
But this wasn't the time to get all emotional. If they wanted to leave this room, they would have no choice but to face that insane Death Knight once more. The Death Knight wasn't the only thing that Eugene needed to be concerned about. The Black Wizard, Amelia Merwin, didn't know when she might return. As such, he needed to finish things here as soon as possible, and then escape from here. The fact that it was here meant that Vermouth had left this sword as an offering to Hamel.
If that's the case, that just means it's all right for me to take it.
As a descendant of Vermouth, would he be able to wield the moonlight sword because of that?
I'll just have to try and hold it. After all, that bastard did dedicate this sword to me.
The moonlight sword in front of him was incomparably weaker than the one that he had first seen in those ruins. He was holding it, the sword that Hamel hadn't been able to even touch.
It's not there. As I thought, they must have shattered it.
The crescent moon floating in the air began to dissipate. It took the shape of a straight blade.
Haha.
It might eat up his mana like crazy, but as long as he used it properly, it would be able to show overwhelming superiority during battles that used mana. Now he was sure he could win versus the Death Knight without using ignition. Eugene opened up the white coffin. As he had thought, there wasn't any corpse lying within. However, taking a closer look, Eugene was struck with surprise.
Someday I will meet you again in the world that you've been longing for.
This is written by Sienna, and...
How did they enter? Even Master herself couldn't open that door.
Its helmet and breastplate were shattered. The Death Knight's master had not permitted these to be broken, so she would be enraged. And if that happened, the only thing waiting for it was disposal. If the Death Knight wanted to prove that it wasn't useless junk that should be discarded, he needed to kill the intruders. No, I need to capture them. Since they were able to easily open the door that their master had been unsuccessfully trying to open, the Death Knight needed to offer them to its master alive.
Need to do it quickly, before the Master returns.
Did I keep you waiting?
How did you get through that door?
An animal like you can't open doors? Want me to teach you?
What did you see inside there?
It's a secret.
The Death Knight's claws were shattered by the moonlight and completely erased from existence. The Death Knight's eyes showed that it didn't understand what had just happened. Although he had only swung the sword once, it already felt like he was choking for air and his vision was blurred. These were the typical symptoms of mana depletion. I can do it twice more before I collapse, Eugene thought. The Death Knight's movements. It's not going to use demonic power because it was wary of the moonlight sword.
I really don't think that's a good idea. Scared? I haven't swung yet. Windstorm Sword Tempest. If I was in a better state, I would have finished you off there.
My armor broke again.
What an idiot, you wasted your mana to shield yourself. Since I have the Moonlight Sword, I can control its fragment as I wish.
Eugene used the fragment to tie his hand, and his sword easily pierced through his heart.
I used as little power as I could, but it drained all my mana, this bullshit sword. Still, at least this is better than using ignition.
All that was left was the corpse of Hamel.
This feels like shit. Shouldn't there be limits on how far you could insult someone who had died? Not only had they dared to break into someone's grave, but they had even turned his corpse into a Death Knight?
For now, his priority was to destroy this thing and then escape with Rahman, who was still lying down on the other side of the door. His arm wouldn't move. His entire body was being tied up by some great invisible force.
Fuck, you are here.
All Eugene could do at this moment was speak, and that was because she had permitted him.
Can't we talk this out face to face?
I'm thinking of what I should do with you. Quite a lot of ideas spring to mind, but the one that most appeals to me is this. I will drag you up to the surface. I will bury you alive. Of course, I won't just let you die suffocated like that.
You're too kind.
I'll make sure that your mouth is frozen open, unable to close. Your eyes will also be made unable to shut. Before long, your eyeballs will dry up and shatter into pieces, and your tongue will become like a withered twig.
I think that I'll be baked dead in the sand before that happens.
No, you won't, because I won't allow that to happen. And after that, you will become the scarecrow of this desert. I will break all the bones in your legs, wind them around each other, and tie them tightly. Then I'm going to drive iron rods through each of your fingers. Though, you won't be able to see what happens to your body because your eyes will have already crumbled to dust. Well, even if you can't see it, you will certainly be able to feel it. I won't allow you to become so numb to pain so you can enjoy the sensation.
If you go that far, I'll probably already be dead from shock.
I told you that I won't let you die. You will continue to serve me as this desert scarecrow for a long, long time.
Huh.
Do you know who I am?
You're Amela Merwin.
Yes, I am Amelia Merwin, the dungeon master of the desert, the Blackthorn, the answer to death. That is me. You broke my pet. It may have been a useless pet, but it was mine. Whether it's to bully, destroy, or kill it, those are the sort of things that only its master gets to decide.
You've really raised quite a disgusting pet. Shouldn't you at least regularly bathe it? The corpse stench was really awful.
The only one who can say that sort of words about it is me, its owner.
The spell broke off. Can I kill her now? No, I can't. She is on a different level. Not even ignition with my full power is enough. I guess I have only one choice. Balzac Ludbeth. You know who that is, right?
I really can't think of why you would bring up such a name at this time.
I happen to be acquainted with Balzac. Did you know he actually wrote a letter for me and told me to give it to you if we met?
This seal is the real thing. Do you know what this letter means?
He said that if I had this letter with me, you wouldn't kill me?
That's not exactly correct. I received some help from Balzac at one point, a long time ago, and in return, I promised to owe him a favor. That favor should have been of great value to Balzac. Because of that, he would be able to make one request of me, Amelia Merwin. For decades, he hasn't asked me for anything. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Since he gave you this letter, it means that you can make a request of me on behalf of Balzac. Although it's up to me to see if I'm willing to listen to your request. If you don't want to die, then ask me to spare you. If you do, then I won't kill you. However, I won't just let you go either. Why did you come here? How did you get here? And what did you do here? I need to hear the answers to these questions from you.
I want you to kill yourself.
I already told you that it's up to me whether or not to listen to your request. so I will give you two choices to choose from. If you choose not to speak, I will respect your choice. That means I will kill you. If you choose to live, I will spare you. But instead, I will get everything from you that I want to know. Don't worry too much. I won't turn you into a cripple, torture, or do anything like that. There are many other ways for me to get my answers from you. I really am very interested in you. How did you find your way into here when even the Sultan doesn't know about this place? The only ones who should have any knowledge of this location are the sand shamans. Was there a rat among them who was in communication with you? But that would be quite strange. They shouldn't have a reason for doing so.
What should I do? If I asked her not to kill me, then she was going to use magic to draw out the answers. With her skills, she might even get me to say I was Hamel.
It seems that your mind is racing. I don't have all day for this. I will count to 3. 1.
Could he use the name of the Lionheart clan? Would Amelia even respect the Lionhearts?
2.
Should he just tell the truth? Eugene opened the door that even Amelia had failed to open, and found the moonlight sword within. If he said something like that, Amelia might spare Eugene, but she would take the moonlight sword from him.
3.
Eugene felt nauseous, as if his insides were being flipped over, and all the hairs on his body stood up as he felt terror wash over him.
What brings you here? Demon King of Incarceration.
Eugene Lionheart, I have seen you through the eyes of Balzac Ludbeth. Are you here to offer flowers at the grave of your ancestor's closest companion? You should be aware, the owner of this grave is Hamel Dynas. Although he is known to the world as Stupid Hamel, he is truly far from stupid. Among dear Vermouth's comrades, he was especially outstanding and strong. So much so that Vermouth always kept that man by his side.
Dear Vermouth, what makes you think that you have the right to talk like that?
I do not comprehend your hostility. Vermouth and I truly understood each other and built a friendship based on this understanding, but trying to force such a relationship from 300 years ago onto his distant descendants would be a ridiculous stretch. I respect the Lionhearts as the descendants of my friend, but I won't demand respect back from you. Eugene Lionheart, I have seen many Lionhearts, but among those, I believe that you are the one who has most strongly inherited the blood of Vermouth.
A Lionheart, gray hair and golden eyes. Those are Lionheart clan traits. For you to personally come to this pitiful place, using this Death Knight as your vessel, Demon King of Incarceration, how am I supposed to take this?
It's up to you.
Is your purpose for coming here really just to protect this naughty cub?
It is because he is the descendant of my close friend.
Are you really going to suppress my freedom, which you've always claimed to respect?
Vermouth is dead. However, his bloodline has continued on, especially within Eugene Lionheart. In him, I can see the appearance of my old friend, Vermouth, Amelia Merwin, although I may love and respect you, but not as much as Vermouth.
The ghost of someone who died 300 years ago. You're saying that you respect it more than me. Who's currently living?
You have been given freedom.
You, my body.
But that freedom can never supersede my authority. Amelia Merwin, I respected your freedom to do anything with Hamel's grave. But if you wish to harm Vermouth's descendants, then I am afraid I cannot allow that. At least, not for now.
For now? What do you mean by that?
You are a disrespectful brat. Show proper respect to the Demon King.
It has already been 300 years. That's quite a long time. For humans, at least. I feel like I have continued to show a sufficient amount of goodwill and respect to Vermouth's descendants. I have respected their freedom to not show me any goodwill or respect in return. However, I am concerned that you may be taking my continued goodwill for granted. I am the king of Helmuth.
With each word that the Demon King said, Eugene felt like his heart was being torn apart.
With freedom comes responsibility. Freedom without responsibility is just indulgence. Descendant of Vermouth, tell this to everyone in the Lionheart clan. Do not take the goodwill that I have granted you as an incentive to go too far. If you will not respect me, then I shall no longer respect you either.
Eugene clearly understood the meaning of these words. It was a warning.
What are your reasons for coming here and saying these words now, after having been silent for 300 years?
Your ancestor made an oath in exchange for freedom, but now the end of that promise is drawing near. The time is coming for the wheel that he stopped to resume moving forward once more. Someday, a new oath will be made. I wonder who will be able to make a new promise in Vermouth's stead and stop this wheel once more.
What was in the oath?
You do not deserve to know such details. You are not Vermouth, you stupid lion. Ha ha ha. Your existence, your soul. It's all thanks to Vermouth's oath that you were able to be born now, after 300 years have passed.
What?
Amelia Merwin, return to your dungeon.
I still have something that I need to ask that brat about.
You will not get any answers from him.
Nonsense. My pet is dead because of him, and then there's that door.
Door. It's only Hamel's grave. Nothing of importance happened here.
Demon King of Incarceration, have you developed a fondness for that body?
I will return this corpse to you.
Are you sure? Isn't that the body belonging to your dear, cherished Vermouth's friend?
Yes, but Hamel is not my friend.
You got lucky. The next time your luck won't be as good.
She couldn't do anything about this brat right now, but someday, once the oath was over.
I can't wait for it.
Eugene stood there for quite a while, trying to get control over his emotions.
That fucking bastard. He knows about me being Hamel.
Your existence, your soul. It's all thanks to Vermouth's oath that you were able to be born now.
Could it be? Had the Demon King of Incarceration meant to say that Vermouth had sworn an oath with the Demon Kings in exchange for Hamel's reincarnation? But this sounded absurd. If that guy had truly cared for Hamel, then he would have just prioritized killing the Demon Kings instead of arranging for Hamel's reincarnation. That oath was something along the lines of a peace treaty. It shouldn't have been focused on my reincarnation.
But Hamel is not my friend.
I also hate you, you son of a bitch.
In the end, he didn't manage to destroy the corpse from his previous life that had been turned into a Death Knight.
The time is coming for the wheel that he stopped to resume moving forward once more.
The end of the oath, the stopped wheel, that motherfucking incarceration bastard. Why does he have to speak in riddles? I have no intention of making any promises. Why should I try and stop that wheel? If that fucking thing starts moving again, rather than stop it, I just need to break it.
If his reincarnation wasn't Sienna or Anise doing, but Vermouth, he had found a leave in the room where the Moonlight Sword had been sealed. 200 years ago, after Vermouth had died, somebody had intruded into this grave. Sienna had noticed what was going on in the grave, so she had traveled all the way here from Akron. She had gotten into a fight with the intruder, and then she had disappeared. This is the leave of the World Tree. With it, you can teleport to the Forest of the Elves from anywhere in the world. If Sienna had been driven into a corner, she may have used the leaves of the World Tree to warp to the Forest of the Elves. But who was the one who had broken into his grave and overwhelmed Sienna like that, then took my body from the coffin in that room and brought it out here? But the only one who could do that would be Vermouth, so he faked his death. But what reason could he have had for doing that?
Why are you guys blocking my path? I don't want to come with you.
This guy is the kind of mercenary bastard that you can find anywhere. So why exactly do we need to take this guy in particular with us?
Sienna hated me at first sight.
Sir Vermouth, he looks like he has no class at all. Countless warriors are better than this stray dog.
Anise straight up insulted me.
I've heard that he is a warrior. I'd like to fight him.
Mulan was an idiot as always.
No, it has to be you.
It doesn't matter what you offer me. I won't listen to the orders of someone weaker than me.
Then if I win, will you become my companion?
Hamel was used to surprising those around him and was accustomed to being called a genius. But Hamel still lost. He didn't just lose, he was completely dominated.
Looks like I'm stronger than you.
Shut up. Fuck. One more time. Let's fight again. I haven't lost yet. I admit that I'm much weaker than you. So why do you want me as your comrade?
If I win, you would become my comrade. Isn't that what you promised?
I don't understand it. If you were to ask anyone to become your comrade, there would be lines of bastards who would happily accept the offer without any hesitation.
You are the last member of our party to kill all the Demon Kings. Let's go there together, Hamel.
Vermouth would have been able to sneak the necklace into the treasure vault without any problems. But then, there's Sienna. How had Sienna known to send a phantasm to find him? Had Vermouth betrayed Sienna? He couldn't be sure of anything yet. He still needed to find Sienna to get to the truth.
You must be aware you're asking too much, right? My subordinates told me every word that you said to them. Eugene Lionheart, do you truly believe that I sent my men after you in order to steal from you?
No matter what the respected Emir's intentions might have been, isn't it true that I suffered damages because of them?
They were just tasked to protect you. I'm not sure if you are aware of this, but Nahama and Keel's relationship isn't very friendly. The Emperor of Keel is wary of Nahama's power, and the Sultan is also suppressing his rage at the Keel empires.
Tyree knew that the sand shamans of the Kazani Desert were intentionally creating sandstorms as an act of invasion. If that brat truly had clashed with the sand shamans and found out about the desertification process,
Me protecting you openly is basically Nahama bowing its head to the Kiel Empire. Besides, I'm still trying to figure out your intentions. Why were you heading into the Kazani Desert, where no one actually lives?
I'm not here to be interrogated.
That's the thing. It's not possible for me to interrogate you, so I had my men follow behind you, just in case they needed to protect you from any unforeseen circumstances. If Rahman Shulhov had just followed his orders properly, then you and I would never have been placed in such an uncomfortable position. I understand why you would feel displeased by this, but from what my men told me, they were just following behind you at a reasonable distance. In the first place, you were the one who attacked them.
This old emir hadn't brought up any mentions of the assassins or the sand shamans. Even the sultan was likely unaware of the fact that Hamel's grave had been found down there. The reason why Tayiri al-Madani had tried to keep Eugene out of the desert was all because of the sandstorms, not because of Amelia Merwin. So there's no need to pointlessly worry about it. Eugene went on the offensive.
No matter what the respected emir says, it doesn't change the fact that the emir endangered my life. Now does it? I'm wondering how I should explain such a misunderstanding to my family, since it could lead to a problem between our two countries. I also don't want to cause any issues for my family. But Emir, forget about me. Will you be able to handle these consequences?
Young lord, what is it that you want?
500 million sales. I would consider this a bargain if I were you. I'll make sure to keep my mouth shut, so all you need to do is open your wallet.
I've heard that you are now 19 years old, but you really are bold. I shall pay, if you can guarantee that this will completely quell your anger. Now that our misunderstanding has been cleared up, allow me to ask you one question. I am extremely curious. Did you see anything interesting in Kazani?
Of course, I saw the desert.
Hamel's tomb, the statue, the coffin, and a few pillars. Everything that he didn't want to leave buried had been stuffed into his cloak. Then the labyrinth connecting to the tomb had been destroyed by Eugene's own hands. The one who controlled that dungeon was Amelia Merwin, not the Sultan. As long as Amelia Merwin kept her mouth shut, no one would know what Eugene had experienced there.
One more thing. I'll be taking Rahman Shulhov with me. He will need to pay the price for threatening my life.
Haha. Then I can arrange for Rahman to be executed in front of you, young lord.
Master.
Hey, I'm not ruthless enough to want someone's head rolling on the floor for something like this. I'm just going to take him home with me and order him to clean the shit out of the stables.
As you wish.
Hamel, I sometimes have doubts. If God really is omnipotent and all-knowing, then why do these young sheep bleed?
Anise, you're drunk.
Why doesn't God shine his light down on the world?
We have Vermouth. I don't know what the god of light is, but I do know that bastard Vermouth is an unspeakable monster. That's why he's the hero, and why the Holy Sword recognized him as its master.
I never thought that I'd hear those kinds of words from you.
It's just as annoying to listen to your drunken ramblings. You should stop talking about such pointless things and let me have a drink. Don't just guzzle it all down by yourself.
This isn't alcohol, it's holy water. I can't give it to someone like you who lacks faith.
I'll become a believer in the God of Light from today onwards, so give it here.
False faith is a heavier crime than any other sin.
In the end, Anise didn't give him even a single drop of alcohol that day. Holy Land of Light. Hogani. It was just like in Aroth, exactly like how the wizards of Aroth felt about Sienna. The believers from Eurus also desperately wanted to find Anise.
I had hoped that their clues might appear in response to my soul.
But nothing like that had happened. The records of Anise's journey ended here. Following that, Eurus had dispatched several missions to pursue Anise's trail. But in the end, Anise was never found. She probably came here to pay her respects at my grave. Could Vermouth also be involved in Anise's disappearance?
My lord, it's been a week since we came here. Have you changed your mind?
No, we're heading back to Kiel.
That son of a bitch, he's finally coming back after 4 years. Let's see how much stronger are you now.
Tyan, you don't seem to be happy that your brother is returning.
I'd be happy to see him return, but I'd be just as happy if he didn't. If he says that he wants to become the patriarch, I will probably step aside for him.
As long as you don't step aside for him, there is no way that Eugene will become the next patriarch.
But would that be the right decision for the Lionheart clan? The patriarch of the Lionheart clan must be the strongest heir in the main family.
You are no longer a child. If you want to become the patriarch or give it to Eugene, it's your choice.
But that's not what you want for me.
It seems I raised you harshly. I don't want to become like Tanis. I don't want to ruin my child with my own excessive ambition.
I'm different from Iode.
That's right, you are different, so you should do what you feel is right. As for me, no matter what you choose, I'll be proud of you for doing the right thing. Eugene is your brother. Even though you don't share any blood, you two are still siblings. That's why the two of you should meet and talk with each other before deciding anything. The patriarch's position can wait till then.
Okay.
What are you all doing out here?
My son.
It's been a long time, Father. What a triumphant transformation you have been working out. It even feels like your beard has grown a lot as well. Could this be?
It's all thanks to my buddy, Stellord.
Stellord? He was Gargith's father. Had they really gotten close enough to call each other buddy? Didn't I tell you not to take their drugs? Apologies for the late greetings, stepmother.
Don't be so awkward, we are family.
By the way, where's the patriarch?
He's at the Black Lion Castle. It's time for your coming-of-age ceremony.
It was one of the Lionheart clan's traditions. The coming-of-age ceremony was only for the children of the main family.
Iode, the eldest son of the main family, had become an adult 2 years ago. Under normal circumstances, Iode would have been the first of the siblings to hold a coming-of-age ceremony, but Iode had been practically exiled from the main family due to his involvement with black magic. Since the last coming-of-age ceremony had to be skipped and there will be 3 children becoming adults next year, it looks like they're planning to make the event a little more extravagant than usual.
Is that what the patriarch desired?
It seems that this was the council's decision. But who is that?
He's my subordinate. His name is Rahman Shulhov. As for his age, Rahman, how old are you?
I am 32 years old.
Nina.
Yes, Master Eugene.
Take this old man with you and teach him how to clean the stables and the gymnasium, as well as, any chores that you don't want to do, the bothersome ones that require a lot of strength.
Is it really okay for me to do that? Is he not your subordinate, Sir Eugene?
It's because he's my subordinate that he should do the chores I tell him to do. Rahman, this woman's name is Nina, and she's my exclusive servant. She is now your senior.
Do I really need to take a girl 10 years younger than me as my senior? Although Rahman had decided to give his life to Eugene, deep in his heart, there was still the pride of a warrior from the savage desert. This is the least he can do to pay Eugene back for saving his life many times. And there will surely be a day when he needs me as a warrior. That day, I will lay my life for Master Eugene.
If you are done here, let's talk. What are you?
What the hell are you talking about?
Are you really the same age as me, only 19 years old?
You want me to tell you the truth? I've been reincarnated.
Stop with the bullshit.
What was the point of asking for his true identity when Sion wouldn't believe him even when he told the truth?
Have you suddenly realized how great your brother is?
Although the same 4 years have passed for both of us, with you it feels like 40 years have passed. I thought I worked extremely hard. While you were learning magic, I just swung my sword like a mad ant here at the main estate. I also practiced the white flame formula, and even reached the 3rd star. But you are at the 4th already. You should become the patriarch.
What the hell are you saying? You always wanted to become the patriarch.
If there's you who's incomparably superior to me, how could I possibly become the patriarch?
We can have a duel like last time. If I win, you will become the patriarch.
If you win the duel, why would the weaker become the patriarch?
It looks like you're smarter than I expected.
What did you say?
Someone should occupy a position like that with the motivation for it. I have no desire for the seat of the Lionheart clan's patriarch. If you really want to change my mind, try convincing me by using your strength.
A duel is a bit much. Since it's been a while, let's just have a spar.
I'm telling you this in advance, but no matter what you try to do, you won't be able to defeat me.
I know, you rude bastard.
The spar was one-sided. Sion's sword force might be unbelievably refined for his age, but he couldn't push back against Eugene. Sion's mana control had improved greatly after reaching the 3rd star. It would be extremely rare for anyone in the entire continent to have as much mana as Sion. There should be no reason for him to have gotten tired so quickly, his heart pounding away rapidly. It felt like Sion was swinging his sword into nothingness. It felt like Eugene's sword was just diverting his attacks to where Sion didn't want it to go. Incredible. If it were me up there, would I be able to win? I don't think you will last a minute. Sir Hazard. He was extremely strong 4 years ago. Now he can even beat me, the general of the 2nd squad. From the very start, Eugene had remained standing in one spot.
What was that? You sent my attacks flying all over the place.
That was just parrying. Can't you tell just by looking?
Don't lie to me.
He wasn't just obstructing the sword force, he was diverting it away. Eugene could divert it back inward, breaking the opponent's stance. By mixing in both inward and outward flows, Eugene had been able to nullify all of Kyan's attacks, and had also made him overuse his mana.
You have a good eye.
Tell me how you did that.
Really? You want to learn from me?
Patience. Patience.
All right, I will teach you.
Huh? What? You're going to teach me?
If you're strong enough, there's no need for me to become the patriarch, right? Too many people are here. Follow me. You won't be able to become stronger than me, but as long as you're strong enough to become the undisputed patriarch of the Lionheart clan, there's no problem, right? No matter how much you try to push me into it, I won't.
How many times had Kyan offered the position to Eugene? At least 3 times. Since Eugene said that he didn't want it, then it couldn't be helped.
Well, you might have amazing skills, but as someone who lived half of his life in a country area, you might find it difficult to become accustomed to the culture of the high society that a patriarch needs to familiarize themselves with. Wag! Why did you hit me?
Because you were being ill-mannered.
When are you going to teach me that skill?
I happen to be a bit busy. I'll write down what I'm going to teach you and give it to you later. If you study it diligently, you'll be able to use it on your own.
You aren't lying to me just because you don't want to become the patriarch, are you?
You're right that I don't want to be the patriarch, but I am not lying.